We're back to doing unit conversions, only it's going to be more than just one step. It may be 2 steps, it may be 5 steps. We have to think a little bit harder on these to figure out how many steps we're going to need. However, I do know that I always start with this, and my beginning information is always here on the left. If there's just a single variable, or a single unit, tons, then it goes in the upper right, 5 tons. Now, it wants me to convert it to ounces. I need to figure out what I have. I can convert tons to pounds. Oops, let me undo that. To pounds. And then can I go anywhere with pounds? Yes, I can go from pounds to ounces. So I'm going to need 2 steps to go from tons to pounds, and then from pounds to ounces. So from tons to pounds, my tons are going to have to be on the bottom, my pounds on the top, so that I can cancel these tons, tops and bottom. And if I look back at my conversion, 1 ton is the same thing as 2,000 pounds. 1 ton is 2,000 pounds. Now my tons will cancel, and if I did this calculation, I'd be in pounds. But I don't want to be in pounds, I want to be in ounces. So I go back and I say 1 pound is equal to 16 ounces. To cancel the pounds on the top, my pounds have to be on the bottom, and then my 16 ounces is going to be on the top. Pounds cancels. To find my answer, I'm going to take 5 times 2,000 times 16. I'm no longer going to write the divided by 1 because it's not going to change any of the values when I divide by 1. So when I take 5 times 2,000 times 16, I get 160,000 ounces. Now this one is different because it's 75 miles per hour. I have 2 different units. That's the same thing as 75 miles in 1 hour. Don't ever put 2 units in the same box. It wants me to go to feet per second. So not only do I have to convert miles to feet, I have to convert hours to seconds. I can't do those at the same time. So I'm going to focus on just miles to feet first. So I need miles in the bottom to cancel with the miles in the top, and then feet. And I'm just doing this because I know there's a conversion directly from miles to feet. 1 mile is the same thing as 5,280 feet. Now my miles will cancel. I have the feet unit that I want in my answer, but this would be feet per hour, and I want feet per second. So over here I need to do a time conversion. Since hours is in the top and the bottom, I need hours in the top here to cancel. I don't know off the top of my head. Well, I do, but people don't generally know off the top of their head how many seconds are in an hour. But I can convert hours to minutes. 1 hour is 60 minutes. So now I can cancel my hours. This is feet per minute, but I want feet per second. But I know that 1 minute is 60 seconds. So sometimes I have to do more than one conversion to get me where I want to go. Now my minutes will cancel. When I calculate this, my units that are left are feet over seconds, so feet per second. My calculation that I need to do on my calculator, and you need to show on your page, is 75 times 5,280 divided by 60 divided by the other 60. You can put those ones in if you want to, but it's not going to change anything to have those ones in there. So once you punch that in your calculator, it turns out to be exactly 110, so we didn't have to worry about rounding that at all. Now the next one says if I drank 1 liter of water, so I'm starting with 1 liter, and that's a capital L for that abbreviation. How many ounces? So I want to go from liters to ounces. Well, I go back to my units. I can go from liters to gallons. So liters to gallons, that'll get me into the English system. And then gallons to quarts. Quarts to pints. Pints to cups. And then cups, finally, I can go to ounces. Boy, I have to have a lot of conversions to do that. So 3.785 liters is equal to 1 gallon. So 3.785 liters is equal to 1 gallon. Because the liters unit was in the top here, it needed to be in the bottom in my conversion. I can cancel those. I can go 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts. And I know these conversions, so I don't need to keep looking back, but you probably would. And then I know that 1 quart is equal to 2 pints. Notice I'm canceling my units as I go. 1 pint is equal to 2 cups. And finally, 1 cup is equal to 8 ounces. Those are fluid ounces, not the ounces like the 16 ounces in a pound. So what I'm going to have to do, I'm not going to worry about these ones. I'm going to have to take 4 times 2 times 2 times 8 and then divide by the 3.785 in the denominator. And I just want to double check that 3.785. That's not one that I know off the top of my head. So 4 times 2 times 2 times 8, as I punch it in my calculator, divided by 3.785 gives me this number that I'm going to have to round. I'm just going to take it to 3 decimal places, 33.817, and then it goes on from there. The reason I just took it to 3 is because you're rounding to the nearest hundredth, which is the second decimal place. So I only need to look then at the first 3 decimal places to see how to round this. That 1 will either stay a 1 or round up to a 2. Because this is 5 or above, the 7 is a 5 or above, this 1 will become a 2. My answer is 33.82, and remember it's what units left and what they were asking me for, ounces.